everybody. Get this thing going. Live on Facebook, not that Facebook account. Who thinks we should go live on Bernadette's Facebook account one day, just for fun? See what happens. She might be upset about that.
Ask her.
Permission or forgiveness? Which is better?
Depends how long you want to prepare for.
Forgiveness always
Forgiveness.
How big's your couch, Chris?
I have two, so we're lucky.
One might be where you sleep in, I think is what he's hinting at.
Well, yeah, you knew me.
The Bible says to forgive 70 times 7 every day. Forgiveness all the way.
Jeez.
The scriptural moment brought to you by The Voice. When you're in Virginia and you need a good realtor, ask for Aziz, The Voice.
And I'm going to forgive you for all the stuff you put on this chat.
I was giving you your flowers. I needed to make sure that everybody recognized how wonderful you are and what it takes to be that wonderful.
Okay.
All right, welcome everybody. This is the next.
I'm going to Virginia just to take some lessons from Aziz.
Well, at least we know where he was from 6 to 7.
Go, Valerie,
finish it.
At least we know.
I said, at least we know where he was from 6 to 7.
Here we are. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the National Real Estate Conversation. Chris Hurley here, your host for most of the week. Yet on Thursdays, we have Takeover Thursday. And Bernadette was so honored to have people from her event in Houston already coming to the class or coming to our event. So if you're from Bernadette's class she did at KW Professionals this week, welcome. And get up and role play like you did yesterday. It's a fun opportunity to work out with a bunch of different folks. You see the faces and hear the voices. Maybe one sounds like you, and it's your gateway to be comfortable stepping into a conversation with other real estate pros like the ones you see on the screen. We're honored to get together every weekday. So if it's your first time, welcome. We don't have to have camera on, though you do get better with camera on. You point yourself into the sharpened direction where you, when you meet with clients, you're comfortable speaking. You've gotten through some of the nerves that we work on here so that you too can carry amazing conversations with folks, really engage with them with curiosity
and bring back some levels
of value for yourself and your own business. Maybe a lead, maybe an opportunity to have a further conversation.
And so I want to talk a little bit today.
It is Friday. I don't know if you know.
Friday is question day.
We'll play the original question game, the OG question game, where you get to participate in a format of curiosity. So we're going to go through the question game where if you want to raise your digital hand and ask one question, you'll have a chance. We're going to have a structure to the game, so it's not just any question. We're going to come through a couple themes. You're pointed, you're sharp, you've played this game before. You don't even need to know the question category. You can just ask because you're ready. But first, Telly is here from the Connecticut. What's up, Telly?
The past 30 days, I've been honing in on FSBOs, and I've had 5 appointments. Now, I know these numbers can't be consistent, but I've gotten 3 listings from 5 FSBO appointments. So I'm just telling you that all the role play, all the comfort, it works. It truly does, and you really can do amazing things, guys. So, Chris, everybody, thank you so much for all the practice. It really means a lot.
Telly, can I ask you a couple questions? Are you safe to be interviewed? I'm hoping. Maybe not. Telly. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm here.
Telly, how long? Yes, I can. How long have you had your real estate license in Connecticut?
End of 2019.
End of 2019. And how long have you been coming on the Scripps Jedi call?
April.
Since every day. Every day since April. And it's an inspiration to people that you don't need 20 years of experience to go do FSBOs. You just have to be engaged and active. And right when you got on the call, Telly, you didn't get into FSBOs. It took some time, didn't it?
I did FSBOs a little bit beforehand, but now I've really gotten into it. I mean, I only did 4 listings last year. I'm going into the middle of January with 3 listings. amazing in my numbers compared to what I did before.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Congratulations, Telly. I know having the listings makes it easier for us to have that long range vision of our business, and having the activities get you in that momentum piece where you go and engage with a FSBO. They say something negative and disappointing, and you walk away from it, yet your confidence is there to continue to go back to the next one. And then you may be shocked at the number of for sale by owners that if you talk to them in 30 days, they actually call you back because you're nice, you're thoughtful, you ask good questions. Go ahead, Telly. Tenacious.
That's the key. Literally, they call me. I mean, one of them yesterday, when I was like, he's like, you kept on calling me. I said, you didn't tell me to stop. Twice a week, just tenacious, nailing them until they basically said, all right, let's work together.
That's what we're looking for,
guys. We're looking for the opportunity to be engaged with people and for them to recognize what's different in how you operate. They've had an experience with Realtors, and it was negative. They walked away from the experience saying they're not worth anything. They didn't have tenacity. They didn't have professionalism. And yet you show up in this new chapter of their life where they're doing the same thing they did 15 years ago because they were disappointed. But you show them what a true professional looks like. That's really what we're looking to do here in this show. We're wanting you to get comfortable in your shoes as a realtor, to go ask some good questions and to invite people to do business with you. And see what they say. Part of those good conversations begin with some curiosity on the front end, asking some questions about their phase of life. We use who, what, where, how, when. Why not necessarily is the best one because it gets into a deep one, but who, what, where, when are easy to answer type questions. And then if you combine that concept, who, what, where, when, why, or who, what, where, when, to forward. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. You can build an amazing conversation with people. And if you're able to ask some good questions about their life, they tell their own story. You don't need to do any of the heavy lifting. You just have to come with some good questions. So let's start with the F, family. Let's start with family. What are some good questions around family? It doesn't have to be in a house, at a table, in a networking event. It can be wherever you want. You can set us up by saying this is a question for this type of thing. And then just ask a question about family. Let's begin with the who. The who part of family. Who questions for family. The question game is just one question. You can raise a digital hand like Pat and Valerie and just throw out a question. Go through one at a time. You'll get a chance to speak, and then we'll continue to move down the line. We'll change it up to other forms of questions and other acronyms, FORD, so that we can get a bunch of different questions. But family and who questions. We'll start with Pat Canale in New York. Pat, what's a family and who question?
Hi. Oh, excuse me. So tell me, who in your family would be most excited about the move, and who in your family would be least excited?
Tactics of conversation like tell me is an invitation for permission. Use that. Begin your questions with tell me, making them feel comfortable explaining in detail to you. Valerie Presley, who family is a question you've got.
Who's the last kid to graduate from high school in your house?
Love it. Who's the last kid? Family's important to people for sure. Telly, who family? Who family?
Chris, tell me, who do you know in your family that might have a question about real estate that I'd love to help them with?
Love that. Maddie, New Jersey.
That stole mine, but here I go. So tell me, Chris, who in your family has the most questions about this move?
Get to the curious one, right? She always asks good questions. Ask her.
Deb Bennett, what say you in Canada, Deb?
Hey, Chris, who in your family has big plans for 2024?
Got a bunch of family conversations that just happened over holidays. Denise Moyer in Katy, Texas. What say you? Who in family?
Hey, Chris, I'm curious. who in your family has the most interest in parks and recreation?
Just like tell me, if you listen to Denise, you use the words, I'm curious. It's a way that you can enter into some questions that make it feel a little bit different, and it's just a tactical decision. Francesca in Chicago, what say you? Who and family?
Good morning. So, Chris, who will be the decision maker, you or your wife, in this process? Who will be the lead?
I like that.
Who's made the decisions
the last time you guys bought a home?
Who was
Who was the one who actually
pulled
pulled the trigger?
Was it a joint
effort?
I've
got a husband and wife buyer like that now. Somebody's going to be the decision maker, right? John Tramble, Kansas City. What's a who family question from you?
Good morning, Chris. Hey, Chris, I'm curious, who in your family is thinking about moving to or downsizing?
Like that. General questions, right? There's people who are talking about it. Susie Scoggins, Charlotte. Who in family is a question from you?
Who in your family, Chris, rents their home and might find it of value to get information on home ownership and building wealth in real estate?
Wow, Susie, I like that one. Who's renting in your family? Who can I help be a homeowner building equity? Just a conversation, right? Not looking to sell them a house, but I want them to understand that they can pay $1,800 a month on a mortgage and be building equity, right?
Let me ask you this. Everybody
who's a realtor, if you bought a home in 2019, what are you sitting on top of most likely today? And your home was like around $300,000.
Money.
Even in
New York, Erica, they're still sitting on money, aren't they? So there's a conversation to have. Why not start buying now? Because if you had bought in 2019, you'd have 100K right now. That's why you should start buying today. Vicky DeLuca.
Hey, Chris, who in your family would like to join us for coffee to discuss maybe some real estate needs they might have?
If you have Triangle for Trust meetings where people get together and bring a guest, don't you look better? This is the trusted advisor that I use to answer these specific questions. I like that, Vicky. Bring a guest. Hey, when we meet for coffee, I always love meeting new people. Can you bring a friend? Who do you know who would be, needs to get out? Tanya Nicholas, who in family?
Hey, Chris, who in your family would have the most difficult with moving, but they need to move now?
Tanya. Stephanie Clarington in New Jersey.
Sorry, I think I lost. Can you hear me?
Roger
that. You're good.
Okay. Chris, who in your family will be most excited about this upcoming move?
Deborah Morris, who in family?
Who did you say in your family that was interested in a career in real estate so I can connect them?
Listen. I had somebody last night tell me about the brother-in-law who was an engineer who got the real estate license. Oh my. She wanted her to give the new listing to the new brother-in-law. She did not want to do that. But wouldn't it be great to get some people into this career path of real estate? There's companies involved that give you incentives to do that. You could recruit for a lot of different places. All right, Lorenzo, who in family? We're going to close it out. Who in family with Marty? We'll change it at Marty. Who in family, Lorenzo?
Hey, Chris, who in your family will accompany you this August to the Yankee game when we play Houston?
Selling art on the Yankee game, Lorenzo.
Marty,
close us out with who in family, Marty.
So on who, Chris, who in your family, your cousins, your aunts, uncles, anyone in your extended family, do you know that would be moving to Austin, Texas? We can work on it.
You have a realtor refer in Austin, Texas?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Great. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. If you want to keep your hand up, we'll reset it. I'm going to see how many other hands we still have up. I'll continue to move down the line. But we'll go back to the top here. We're going to change it up to what an occupation. What an occupation. What is a question around occupation that begins with the word what? What is a question around occupation? Things people do for work that begins with the word what? Go back to the top of the line here. Let's go to the people who haven't had a chance. Matt Cannon is here. Matt Cannon, go. What an occupation, Matt.
Sorry, Chris. Mute button. Hey, Chris, what's happening at work right now?
Simple. Love it. Miriam, what an occupation.
What do you do for a living?
It can be that simple, right? What do you do for a living? We should be prepared to answer that one too. Do you have a good story? What do you do for a living? We'll have that script next week. Telly's back. What an occupation, Telly. What an occupation.
Hey, Chris, I need to know, what can I do to help you grow and expand your business?
I like that one, Telly. Valerie Presley, what an occupation.
What are you going to do now since you have to start going back into the office?
Susie's back. Charlotte, what an occupation.
What type of events do you do?
Telly's
what's
back.
wrong?
Hold on, Telly. I gotta get that mute up.
Yeah, I'm not up.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Joanna Brown in the Maryland. Joanna Brown,
An occupation.
What is your dream job?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I like that. So here's the thing, Joanna. If you've got somebody who's younger and they just got the first job, isn't that their dream job? If you have a first time, well, maybe.
Well, maybe.
Listen, one of our friend's sons just graduated from Baylor, and he got a job at SpaceX. So that's kind of a dream job for him.
Yeah,
that's kind of a dream job, and he's really excited. And so when people are really excited, even Patrick, who's an introvert, he was excited to tell the story about occupation. So think about that. What is occupation, and what does it mean to people? It can be really personal, especially first job, first-time home buyers. Somebody who's a new lawyer, somebody who's a new school teacher, somebody who's a new type of service industry, it means something to them. Ask them about that. Have them tell you more. Erica, let's do what an occupation.
Sure thing. So Chris, curious, what are you working on right now at work that you're most excited about, and how can I help?
Love it. If you can tie yourself into their work, it's easier to talk about your work. Contribute in some small way to make it easier for them to do their job. I did that with our community. I helped our community event planner. How do you help a community event planner in a subdivision if they're in charge of making events happen? What could you do to be their best friend?
Invite people.
No, I just made the event and I said, here's the event, invite people, distribute this list. And then he distributed it to the whole community and people signed up. And when they signed up, what did I ask for? Name, address, email, phone number. So you just be the event planner and all of a sudden help people out and you'll get those keys too. Paul McCrary, what say you in Mass? What an occupation question?
What would need to happen for you to be more comfortable with changing careers?
Are there people who are unhappy in their jobs, Paul?
Oh, yeah.
It's not just in Massachusetts either.
No, New York too.
New Yorkers too.
All right, we're
going to close it out with Nareet. Nareet, what an occupation, Nareet? What is the question around what an occupation?
What led you into this career path?
Tell me that story. I am so curious about how you got started with this. It's got to be something interesting. How'd you get started? Think about how you can engage people to lean into your relationship magnet. What do you say to people to build rapport with them and to let them attract themselves to a connection with you based on their own stories and started by your curiosity? So we're going to switch gears a little bit. I'm sorry, Martha. Give you a second to steady yourself. We're going to change it to where and recreation. Where and recreation. Where and recreation. Martha, we're going to go back to you. Where and recreation is the question. Where and recreation.
So, Chris, I'm sorry, I have a raspy voice today. So, Chris, tell me, based on the fact that you love cycling, where would be a great place for you to continue doing that which you enjoy?
Like that. Everett Forest, where and recreation. Who's shocked that Everett's on mute? Can't believe it. His phone must be broken. I didn't know his mute button actually worked. Love you, Everett. All right, Matt Cannon in El Paso. His mute button is not broken. Matt Cannon would say you where and recreation.
Hey, Chris, where's the coolest place you've ever gone to see your daughter's cheerleading competition?
So that's not even around where I go. It's not even like a where you want to buy kind of concept. It's just tell me a good story about something that's personal to that individual. I like that. I like that, Matt. Where, Everett, is your mic working? I see your keystroke is working. Everett, are you where and recreation capable now? No, it's not.
The button that
says joined by computer audio. John Tramble, where and recreation.
Hey, Chris, if you could wave a magic wand, where would you buy your ultimate vacation home?
Wave a magic wand
is a permission slip.
You can
use that one.
It
It overcomes any objection they would say, like, I can't afford it, I got this, I got that. You just wave a magic wand. Where would you go? Wave a magic wand is a tactical phrase to use. I like that. Susie, are you back with where and recreation?
Yes. Hey, Chris, where is your favorite vacation destination?
Love that. How long do people think about a vacation before they exercise the activity? Think about this, like for some folks, like trip of a lifetime type thing. How long are they planning it? Years sometimes. Right? So some of these things, like if you have a child graduating from high school in 2025 and 2 children graduating from college in 2025, might the last big family trip be 2025? So people think about this for sometimes a very long time, and you can extract a lot of relationship journey out of that by just digging in and saying, tell me more about that. Oh, that sounds interesting. Where and recreation, Deborah Morris.
Hey, I heard that your big 25th anniversary is the end of this year. Did you decide where you're going, or can I suggest a couple places?
Be the
expert.
Love it.
Love it. Love it, Deborah.
Miriam is back.
Miriam, where and recreation?
Hey, Chris. So I heard that you have big plans on retiring in a few years. Where will be your dream vacation home away from home?
I like that. Deb Bennett's back.
Hey, Chris, I trust your baseball advice. Where would be a good place in town to get a new catcher's mitt?
Like that. Valerie Kay is here. Val.
Hey, Chris. If money wasn't an obstacle, tell me, where would you build your next home? It's kind of like the wave the magic wand, but everybody else took all my ideas.
But Valerie,
even though when you dig deep, we still have a reservoir of good statements to introduce.
Right.
If money wasn't an object is another great statement, because for some people they put that barrier up. I would sell now, but money is the object. Well, other than money, is there any other thing that would stop you? No, it's just the money. Well, let's look at that. What if we looked at it deeper and you could do this and the money wasn't the object? What an amazing discovery that would be. So if you isolate it down to money, we just need to talk with a lender and figure out if it's possible. Might be possible. Aziz, let's close this out. Money and recreation, or excuse me, not money. Where in recreation?
Where are we playing golf?
Can be that simple. All right, so we're going to switch it up, go straight to dreams in the last couple minutes. We're going to go open. You can do anything you want, any of the who, what, where, and why, and how with dreams. Dreams are not necessarily the nightmares from last night. Dreams are what people think of in the future, sometimes short term, sometimes far. But just get into that conversation. Start off with any of the who, what, where, why, when, and go to dreams. What's a dreams? FORD. Dreams question. Let's go back to the man of the hour, Everforest in Atlanta. It's amazing, Everett. Marion, I'm coming back to you if your hand's still up. Let's do it. Marion, dreams, any of the things.
What is your dream? What is your dream vacation home?
Look at that.
I have one already. I have already one. I was distracted.
That's it. Challenge yourself, right? Valerie, we're back to you. Dreams, any of them dreams.
You mean me?
Yes, Valerie K.
Oh, wow, cool. Hey, have you ever thought about putting together a bucket list? I've been dreaming about that myself. It's the first year I've tried to put one together.
And Valerie, are there people who've gotten to a point in their life where they've never done a bucket list and the urgency jumps upon them at sort of the season and they're like, man, I got to get things done, right?
Exactly.
And that's like vision boarding. Like if you can get to that conversation where you're in a real intimate space with somebody and they're sharing with you those details, that's a good conversation, my friends. That's a good one to have. Valerie Presley, anything in dreams.
How would you feel if you could have all your kids' college education paid for by the time they get finished with high school?
I love that. Love that. Adrian Wilson, dreams and any of them.
Hey, Chris, I have always dreamed of moving to Tahiti and just retiring and moving to Tahiti. What about you? What are your dreams? Do you have a dream of moving somewhere?
Do you see how Adrian used her concept as a way to reach for the stars, kind of inspiration? Like there's really practical people who would never think of Tahiti for 1,000 different reasons. But because you introduce the willingness that you have for Tahiti, maybe they're given encouragement to ask you questions and say, well, how would you go there? What would you do? Have you ever been? Like then it's a real good dialogue. I like that, Adrian. Thank you for sharing. Pat Canale, New York.
Hi, Chris. Now that you and your wife are retired and have some time for more fun, what's your dream place? Where are you headed next?
Love that. Telly's back.
Hey, Chris, tell me, where do you see yourself in 20 years from now?
Susie.
Hey, Chris, I know a lot of people in January are thinking of like New Year's resolutions, but I was wondering, what are your dreams and goals for this year, 2024?
You won't get the Tahiti talk necessarily, but you may get some things that you can introduce into your support for what they're doing in a short vision, and their gratitude would be there if you showed up big for them. Patrick Thurmond is here. Patrick, dreams and any of them.
Oh yeah, Chris. Well, next year when you retire, what big dreams you got going on for next year?
And Patrick, lots of times when you ask that, there's a canned response of golf and boating and painting, and you just be ready for those canned answers because it's not like a secret. When people retire, they do the same things. And it's just different than what they do now. But that's always curious. Be ready for the next question, Patrick, where when they tell you golfing, you can dive even deeper. Oh, tell me about where, tell me about this. And there's a more thread of genuine curiosity you can go into that they then, when they reveal their own personal dreams, it's a real authentic relationship. And that's what we're seeking, right?
Yeah. Tell me about your favorite courses, Chris.
Who's your favorite designer? Have you ever played at blank? Oh my gosh, Pebble Beach.
I mean, that can go on and on. Yeah.
Fill the time with their stories, and the relationship bank investment grows. Vicky, last couple.
Chris, you told me that your home doesn't work for you any longer, and the location. Let's sit down and imagine what your dream location and your dream home would look like.
Like that. Let's go quickly, Deb.
Hey, Chris, I'm sorry to hear that the job didn't go so well last year. What does your new dream job look like, and how can I help connect you with people who can make it come true?
Like that. Erica, New York.
She literally took the words right out of my mouth.
There we go. Great minds think alike. Leo.
That's okay, because the person
Leo.
before me took mine.
Everybody have a dream. Do you still have that dream of that beautiful house? And how can I help you to make it happen?
I like that. All right, I'm going to close this out, Erica. We're at the top of the hour. I want to get throwing this nugget to you. I heard on a great training this week about questions. If we're asking questions around finance, we're identifying leads that are closer to making a purchase decision. If you ask questions around finance and the people answer thoughtfully, you've identified people that have already started thinking about moving. So if you can thread conversations in a way that attract finance conversations, what kind of mortgage do you have? Have you look at the expenses for closing? Those people that respond affirmatively with information already invested in the journey, those are the ones that are going to decide this year. So you choose those conversations, you choose the questions, but know there's thoughtful ways to approach it. FORD is one. And then when you're in those dialogues, know that you can introduce some conversations about specific parts of our industry that'll help you filter the leads. Because who wants to show a house to somebody who, I'd move if I could, versus somebody that says, no, I will move. So identify that. That's a thoughtful way to do that. I had picked up that nugget this week. It was a good piece for me, and I wanted to share that with you all as well. So my honor, guys, to facilitate this. I'm thankful that you showed up, and we'll be back on Monday, same time, same channel. Great job today on the question game. Lisa Perlman, are you here?
I am. You guys have a great weekend. You've received inspiration. Now go put in the perspiration. Woo! Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris, and everyone.
Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Have a great
Happy
weekend,
Friday.
everybody.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Make it a great weekend.
Thank you, Aziz.
Thank you, Aziz.
Hi, everyone. Happy weekend.
Have a successful day.
Yes. Making it awesome.
Good job, Chris.
It's